നമ്മൾ ജൂലൈയിൽ അതിൻ്റെ ഇനോഗ്രേഷൻ നടത്തി. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞു. പിന്നെ രണ്ടാമത്തെ ഒരു സെഷൻ കഴിഞ്ഞു, തേർഡ് സെഷനാണ്. അപ്പോൾ എല്ലാവർക്കും അറിയാവുന്ന പോലെ തന്നെ സൈബർ സെക്യൂരിറ്റി നമ്മളിന്ന് നേരിടുന്ന ഏറ്റവും വലിയ ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. ഇന്ന് തന്നെ നമ്മൾക്ക് ഇടയ്ക്കിടയ്ക്ക് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു നമ്മുടെ അലുമിനി ടോക്കിൻ്റെ കോർഡിനേറ്ററായ സുനിൽ സാർക്ക് തന്നെ കഴിഞ്ഞ ആഴ്ച നിരവധി റിക്വസ്റ്റുകൾ, ഫേക്ക് റിക്വസ്റ്റുകളൊക്കെ വന്ന് ഫേക്ക് അല്ല എന്നുള്ള ലെവലിലൊക്കെ പറയുന്ന ലെവലിലേക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും പോയിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. അപ്പോൾ അത്തരത്തിലുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ നടക്കുന്ന ഇക്കാലത്ത് നമ്മുടെ ഒരു അലുമിനസ് തന്നെ അതിൻ്റെ കുറിച്ചും അത്തരം കാര്യങ്ങളെക്കുറിച്ചും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ അതിൽ നേരിടുന്ന വെല്ലുവിളികൾ നമുക്ക് ഡയറക്റ്റ്ലി എഫക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന എങ്ങനെയാണ് അതൊരു ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഷൻ എഫക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഒരു സിസ്റ്റത്തിനെ എഫക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന മുതലായ കാര്യങ്ങൾ കേൾക്കാൻ എല്ലാവരും വളരെ ആകാംക്ഷയോടെ കാത്തിരിക്കുകയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇല്യാസ് സാർ അതേപോലെ തന്നെ എന്തെങ്കിലും കോളേജിൽ വരും എന്ന് തന്നെയാണ് നമ്മുടെ ഒരു പ്രതീക്ഷ. നമുക്ക് ഇത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് നമുക്കൊരു വലിയൊരു ഈവെന്റ് നമുക്ക് കോളേജിൽ വെച്ച് നടത്തണം. അപ്പോൾ അതിന് മുന്നോടിയായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു സ്റ്റാർട്ടിങ് സ്റ്റേജ് ആയിക്കോട്ടെ. ആദ്യം തന്നെ സിയാക്കിൻ്റെ പേരിൽ ഇവിടെ കൂടിയിരിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാ ആളുകളെയും ഒന്ന് സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുകയാണ്. അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ നമ്മുടെ കോർഡിനേറ്ററായ സുനിൽ സാർ, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ മറ്റ് എല്ലാ ബാച്ച് റെപ്രസെൻറ്റേറ്റീവുകളും, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ വിവിധ ബാച്ചിലെ പാർട്ടിസിപ്പൻസ് എല്ലാവരും ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ നമ്മുടെ അലുമിനി ടോക്ക് കോർഡിനേറ്റർ സുനിൽ സാർക്ക് ഞാനത് ഹാൻഡ് ഓവർ ചെയ്യുകയാണ്. ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക് യു.
ജിതിൻ. ജിതിൻ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ നമ്മളിത് 3ാമത്തെ സെഷനാണ് അലുമിനി ടോക്സിൻ്റെ. അപ്പോൾ എല്ലാ മാസവും സെക്കൻഡ് സാറ്റർഡേ നമ്മുടെ അലുമിനി മെമ്പേഴ്സിനിടയിൽ നിന്ന് ഒരു എക്സ്പേർട്ട് അവരുടേതായിട്ടൊരു ഫീൽഡിൽ നമുക്ക് ഉപയോഗപ്രദമാവുന്ന ഏതെങ്കിലും സബ്ജക്റ്റിൽ നമ്മളോട് സംവദിക്കുന്നതായിരിക്കും. ഇതിൻ്റെ പ്രധാന ഉദ്ദേശം നമ്മുടെ ജൂനിയർ മെമ്പേഴ്സ്, അതായത് അടുത്ത കാലത്ത് ഗ്രാജുവേറ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള മെമ്പേഴ്സ്, ഇപ്പോൾ കഴിഞ്ഞ പ്രാവശ്യമൊക്കെ, കഴിഞ്ഞ കൊല്ലം അതിന് മുമ്പത്തെ കൊല്ലം ഗ്രാജുവേറ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള മെമ്പേഴ്സ്, അവർക്കൊക്കെ ഒരുപാട് പ്രാക്ടിക്കൽ ഫീൽഡ്സിനെ പറ്റി, ചുറ്റും നടക്കുന്ന ഒരുപാട് ഫീൽഡ്സിനെ പറ്റി പുതിയ അറിവുകളും ഒക്കെ പകർന്നു കൊടുക്കുക, അവരുടെ കരിയർ പ്രോഗ്രസ്സിന്, ഗ്രോത്തിന്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സ്റ്റാർട്ടിങ്ങിന് ഒരു നിമിത്തമാവുക. ഇതൊക്കെയാണ് നമ്മൾ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. അത് കൂടാതെ നമ്മുടെ സീനിയേഴ്സ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള കഴിഞ്ഞ 10-35 വർഷമായിട്ട് കോളേജിൽ നിന്ന് ഇറങ്ങിയിട്ടുള്ള നമ്മുടെ എല്ലാവരുടെയും, ഇവർക്കൊക്കെ ഉപയോഗമാകുന്ന ഏതെങ്കിലും സബ്ജക്റ്റ് ആയിരിക്കും ഇത്. അപ്പോൾ അവർക്കൂടി ഉപയോഗമാവുക. പിന്നെ നമ്മുടെ എക്സ്പേർട്ട് ആയിട്ടുള്ള അലുമിനി മെമ്പേഴ്സിന് ഒരു അവസരം നൽകുക, അവരുടെ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാൻ, ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരുപാട് ഉദ്ദേശത്തോടെ തുടങ്ങിയതാണ് ഈ അലുമിനി ടോക്ക്. ഇനി ഇന്നത്തെ സെഷനെ പറ്റി പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, ഇറ്റ്സ് വൺ ഓഫ് ദ മോസ്റ്റ് റെലവൻറ്റ് വൺ ഇൻ ടുഡേസ് വേൾഡ്. Maybe 40 years ago, when I was a college student, or when I was in a school, we never thought even about online transactions or online business. Even internet was not there that time. But today's world is driven by the online world, and tomorrow is going to be more advanced. So in this situation, when we enter or when we progress, when we see the future, cyber or the online world is going to be is going to drive us. So when we are in the online world, there are a lot of risk also. Risk that's associated with the online platforms. So that's one part of it. Other part is the career opportunities related to the online cybersecurity field. As it's a growing field, as it's a much demanding field, much required in future world, there will be a lot of career opportunities. And today we have one of our experts in this, one of our alumni members. We are so proud of him, our own Illyas, who is one of the expert or the authority in cybersecurity field, giving a lot of advice to corporates, to the world around in this field. And he has got a lot of awards, a lot of recognition for his contribution in preventing the cybersecurity crimes or whatsoever. We'll get to know about this later. I just want to share one of my experience this week, just few days ago. My email ID, the Gmail ID, someone, they never hacked it. Generally, we used to hear the word hacking the mail ID or Facebook page and all. But even without hacking, without doing anything, the fraud, the person, he created a new Gmail ID which looks similar to my Gmail ID. The only difference is from my Gmail ID, he just added one letter, S, to that. That's all. So in one appearance, it will look exactly my Gmail ID. And he added my profile picture also there from my Facebook, or also you can take the profile picture. It's open everywhere. He added the profile picture to the newly created Gmail ID. Then from that Gmail ID, he started sending mail to my friends, a lot of friends, put everyone in BCC, and he sent a common mail inviting them to my 20th wedding anniversary. And to look it more authentic, he included my wife's name, my children's name, everything there. And even he selected a venue in Abu Dhabi where I was working. So everything looked so authentic. So nobody can make it out. Plus, it comes from Sunil Kotarate. And my photo also is there. So no doubt it looks like so genuine. Nowadays, the earlier from the language you can make out that it's not his language, something is wrong. But nowadays with the AI, ChatGPT form and all, you can really draft a very well written mail in perfect English, no grammar mistakes. We have all the facility there. So it looks so nice. The email was sent out. A lot of my friends received it. They thought it's genuine because everything is there. My personal details also are there, my family's names and all. Then they responded, accepting invitation, congratulating on my wedding anniversary, 20th wedding anniversary. It's not 20th anyway, but he just put a number there. And he made a flyer also. What a beautiful flyer. I have to congratulate him for that ability of creating such a wonderful flyer. So he did a brilliant job. Many people, they responded. When they responded, they got another mail saying that thank you for responding. We are waiting for you. Please confirm what type of food you want. So after everything, there is one paragraph. My nephew, he's coming next week, and I was not able to transfer money to him. Can you please send around 27,000 rupees to him? By seeing such a line, many of my friends understood it's a scam because the people who have seen similar mails earlier, they will, in a flash of second, they can understand this is a scam, the purpose of the mail. However, everything looks so nice. How can it be? Sunil, he never used to ask for money, but this may be an urgent situation. So let me think about. So few of them even responded to that. That's the catch. So without hacking your ID, without hacking any of your account, still people can you know, do some scam using your name and get money from your friends. You may not be even knowing about it. Only when your friends contact you, you may be knowing about it. So a lot of scams are going around. You may have fallen some of them. And see, what I want to say is the world, the online world around us is so vulnerable. It has a lot of risk. How we can prevent that from, because we cannot keep away from the online platforms. We do our day-to-day business online most of the time. We use the smartphone is part of our life, and we are linked to many platforms. A lot of our personal data is there in the online field through Facebook or through our ID or whatsoever. So we cannot avoid that. What we can do is to avoid the risk. minimize the risk. So today's session is about all this, not only about the cybersecurity, but also the career related to cybersecurity field, which will be more beneficial to our juniors, our newly graduated alumni. So friends, let's welcome our own Illyas and hear from him about cybersecurity, his career opportunities. Illyas, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Sunil, and all the attendees. It's a great privilege, to be frank. After almost, I think, 94, almost like 30 years, speaking in an event that is, from Kannur Engineering College alumni. Kannur Engineering College in 1994, electronics and communication പഠിക്കുമ്പോൾ computer was a, as Sunil was mentioning, നമുക്കൊരു ഭയങ്കര ഒരു പിന്നെ ഒരു അത്ഭുതം ആയ ഒരു സംഭവമായിരുന്നു. മോസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ദ ടൈം വി യൂസ് ടു വാച്ച് കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ ഫ്രം ഔട്ട്സൈഡ് ദ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ ലാബ്. സോ ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ ഫ്രണ്ട്സിനോടൊക്കെ പറയാറുണ്ട്, ആദ്യമായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ഒരു മൗസ് ടച്ച് ചെയ്തത് when we came for the first job, when I came to Qatar for my first job. So from there, I think we had that privilege to see the enormous growth what we have witnessed in the world, in the technology spectrum. And I was lucky enough to be associated with that. Although I studied electronics and communication engineering, I was able to start my computer journey from my first job or second job onwards. I've seen that growth in the cyber, in the internet. So when I was in Etisalat, around 10,000 users. I mean, I was actually in the internet section. In UAE, only it was 10,000 users. I think in India, still internet was just coming up. About സമയം തൊട്ട് I was seeing how it is growing, and I had that privilege to learn and grow with that. So now what I'm trying to do here is mostly, I think the focus will be on the career opportunity, because I normally do a session what Sunil was touching upon on the cyber crimes and frauds and stuff. So Sunil, I think you are lucky that they just asked money only, but I got a call 2 days back from one of a potential kind of a customer actually for me. So someone referred him to me. So he had actually a small company in UAE, and I think around 10 computers and stuff. But someone actually created a similar email address of him, like what Sunil was mentioning, with a very small change. And he was actually communicating to his customer for transacting, the payment to a different account the fraudster created. So he was watching actually the conversation between this person and the customer, and in between, when the payment time come, he just push him out from his email account, and the conversation then started with the fake email address created. But luckily the payment was little smaller amount, so he was kind of not had a big financial impact, but he was worried, and then he wanted to assess his security, although he's a small company. So the cyber security become a problem not only for bigger organization, it is actually a problem of every individual, every citizen, every small and medium sized business also. So just I'm trying to. So now the objective, as Sunil mentioned, is to share some of my experience and what clicked for me, if it was kind of a if we can call, because nobody can call a success, it's all how we looking into a success itself. But at least if you get some knowledge, some kind of what do you call, career growth in a field, so you wanted to share that with your colleagues and community. So that's what I'm trying to do, just to see what I learned, what I understood over last 27 plus years, what can be shared, and that can inspire not only even computer or engineering graduates, although our main objective is this alumni, the group of youngsters who are coming out from engineering college. But cybersecurity is a field where anyone with a passion can develop his own career or her own career in the coming days. So the agenda today will be, I'll just touch upon what was my journey, just to give you some kind of a thoughts, what could click, what could kind of give you a direction on. Because when we came out, to be frank, very very transparently I should say, no idea that I will be in cybersecurity. So it just, I took the opportunities at the right time, I put my effort, and that just kind of probably worked together, and luck favored, and God bless. So that's all kind of work for me. But then now that experience can be shared for many who can leverage and who can probably much better than what probably I have done. So that will give you a little bit of a glimpse of my career. And then, I mean, why cybersecurity is a non thing, and Sunil already covered. But still, we'll just look at a bit more detail about what is going to happen. Because when my daughter itself was actually looking for her future career options, which could be anything in technology or any other different field, she was kind of evaluating those options. One thing I could guarantee her, that whatever the technology changes, whatever the technologies evolve, now what you can see in chat gpt and blockchain or cloud or whatever it is, security will be an unavoidable component. So we will look into those aspects bit more detail, and some of the key factors or success factors that will help to make sure that when we are into the cybersecurity field, we are leveraging, we are taking advantage, we are making the best use of that. So my career, as I touched upon earlier, I was not the best in the class, to be frank, although I was trying to be involved in many things. I mean, on the stage, off the stage, in good things. But the combination of my effort in studies and my extracurricular activities, potentially I would think that that helped me in my career. Not everyone has to be having that. It's a matter of personal choice. But for me, that helped. But that can be developed in different other ways also. So then I actually, my first serious job was in Qatar, where as I mentioned, I touched the mouse for the first time. And during those days, I've kind of started to study computers, networking, and even when I went for vacation, I was actually doing different not cybersecurity, networking, and system administration courses and all. Which nowadays, there are a lot of options, but those days, it was very very remote. We had to go to Bangalore to do any studies. Then I actually moved to Etisalat in 1996, where I was having that chance to be part of an ISP to learn about internet. And then it just strikes my mind, that when we are connected, then there are issues around the security. And then I started focusing on security, IT security, and information security, cyber security. Then I moved to financial sector, and I was the head of cybersecurity, the group head of cybersecurity for one of the largest bank in here. And in 2022, I mean, like the beginning of this year, actually, I kind of established a cybersecurity firm called Cyber Shelter, which is in India and in UAE. So that is what now my focus is to ensure that what I've learned over the last many years, how to add value to my customers, my clients in protecting their organizational systems and information and services. So that's ongoing. So as I mentioned, it is just, this is my profile, and it is not well planned in the beginning, but it has actually happened because when I was taking over, or when I took my career as cybersecurity, I was 100% committed and passionate and was interested. So, and was competitive to make sure that if I'm there, I need to be putting my best effort there, which is what I would advise all the youngsters to make sure that instead of asking which certification to do for cybersecurity, any information, any knowledge what we are acquiring over a period, during our course of career is going to help us. The biggest example I would say is when I finished my 10th. During those olden times, there was no computers, so we all kind of were using typewriters. I don't know the young generations so typewriters. So I went for typing course, for typing there is a lower and higher courses. So I went for that typing course just to spend time after 10th till you get your, 11th or pre-degree, some break, and so you learn something. The objective is to get some job when you finish your graduation. So those typing was now after that never used as a typewriter. I did not have any chance. By the time I finished, there was computers. But that what I learned during typing is actually helping me to type fast and properly now also. And that skill I developed, or that skill I learned, I can just use to do things faster now. So what I say is that any information what or any knowledge we acquire, any skill set what we acquire, is always going to help us in our career, in our life. So knowledge and information and skill acquisition should be open. I mean, we need to make sure, yes, we need to have a focus, but you should not worry about what if I spend time on learning these things, is it going to be helping in my career or it will be a waste? It will never. So everything what I learned in my IT and technology experience is helping me in doing the cybersecurity properly. Because if I don't know the technical aspects, I cannot secure it. And if I cannot do those personal management, communication, interaction, then I still will be lacking in my overall performance and delivery. So many things contribute for the success of us as a professional. So this is just my cyber shelter services. Why I am putting it not to sell the service, but what is cybersecurity industry means. So cybersecurity industry has many different areas. So that is why I say, like, it is not only for computer science graduate or electronics and communication graduate. I had in my team, I had someone who was working in a bank in India as a bank manager, who came here and was looking for a job and searching, and then he contacted me. So in my bank, I had certain project where I need someone to understand banking process to secure that banking process. So security was easy for me to train, but banking experience was difficult to get for an IT person. I mean, normally, technical person will not understanding the banking process properly. So now this gentleman is one of the most sought after privacy and security expert. Now he is working in another bank in UAE. So he was a bank manager for 15 to 20 years in India. So he became a cybersecurity and privacy expert. He finished a lot of certifications, and he's completely it was his life turning point when I hired him in my team and gave him that opportunity to learn security and privacy. And data privacy, data protection is a very, very hot topic. And someone who has to do that has to understand the business processes also. So that is an example. So there are many other, people who are coming from even physiotherapy, from BBM, who doesn't have any technical background, move to cybersecurity. So cybersecurity is not only those hackers, what the hackers do, but there are many other different areas in cybersecurity. That includes, we'll come to that a bit more. Includes, process governance, security awareness, engagement with, different teams. And yeah, obviously there is technical expertise required subfield of cybersecurity also, but it's a matter of many things, which is why cybersecurity is such an interesting, and anyone comes to cybersecurity field doesn't go out of cybersecurity. I have so many examples of people who came and then they become passionate and they wanted to be the best, and they grow. And the opportunities, the salary structure, or the so now one of my biggest expense in cyber shelter is the packages I need to give to the good candidates, good experience, expert, passionate, hardworking, competitive professionals. To hire them, that is my expense, to be frank. So the pay structure itself is very, very competitive compared to any other field, and even IT field. The average salary itself is much, much higher compared to others. So this is actually a slide. Just want to tell that the one side of the cybersecurity or information security, we call it interchangeably, although there's a little bit difference in that, but we can call it cybersecurity or information security for the sake of our discussion now. So there is actually a strategic advisory process, you know, documentation part, which is one of the first column. And then there is technology and solutions, which is required to automate, to simplify the whole processes of protection in an organization or even individual. Certain antivirus software which is installed in your laptop is a technology solution. So technical experience required to install, implement, configure, manage is an area of cybersecurity. Developing policies, procedures, frameworks, governance, you know, all of that is another area of cybersecurity. And services is actually using these processes and technology, you can deliver services. So that is another area where a lot of different kind of roles in cybersecurity. So as I mentioned earlier, something which when I do my self assessment, so because unless you assess yourself and you understand your strength and your weakness, you won't be understanding how to improve. So I had always assess myself to see what worked for me and what I'm not good at, because nobody is perfect. We have so much of weaknesses and so many strength. Every individual has strength. Everyone has their own areas of expertise. So that is what, whenever I get a chance to guide or mentor or giving an opportunity for someone, although sometimes I have an intuitive feeling and sometimes I try to understand what are the skills they are good. Maybe they're not having any idea. I've a lot of people who did not hear even cybersecurity word till met me, but then they had certain skill set. An example is an executive chef who had computer or science background, but then a very famous executive chef, but they were not having a job. And then I found that the way they are actually presenting the cooked food, the garnishing and the nice combination, color combination, so that is something very interesting. And I thought, if I have a certain message to communicate security to my executive management or my users, I want someone to translate my technical stuff into a simple, nice way. Now, that particular individual is actually, earning a very, very high salary now. I mean, he was working with me, and then now when I left and I started my own, they moved to another job and even working with me also. The way they build cybersecurity career is amazing. So it's a matter of how to identify that skill set in yourself and how to apply that in the cybersecurity field also. So again, I'm giving very, very clear message. It is not only for technical people. Yes, technical people can build its own domain, its own expertise, and they can be excellent in certain field and they can be excellent in many other field. But cybersecurity can be a field for anyone. So why cybersecurity? Now, as we saw during COVID, the whole world was able to continue because technology was there. Because people were able to work from anywhere, and students were able to learn from anywhere. We were all able to communicate from anywhere. I'm able to do this session from here instead of traveling to Kannur because of that technology. And it is evolving in a very, very fast paced manner, and it is growing. And the AI and AI based tools coming last couple of months, how many, I don't know, you must be seeing that in your social media platforms, how many applications, AI based applications are coming. And the digital economy now in India, now across the world, everyone using technology for payments, the cards, the banking. Actually, banks has one very core department called operations who do all this transaction, everything manually, and it's a big cost unit in a bank. And now the banks are all become digital. You don't have to go to branches, you can do everything online, mobile app, and every other things are now online. And cost optimization is possible because cloud adoption and online tools reducing the requirement for many costly investments. At the end, you spend more or not, it's a different question, but at least certain type of costs can be optimized by using technology. And if you saw the recent war, the whole Ukraine Russian war started with cyber war. It is actually originated, or initially people, see, now anybody and everybody from anywhere in the corner of the world can launch an attack anonymously to someone else very easily than doing a physical attack. I don't know, you watch Jawan, the movie. I've seen it today. So the metro train was hacked in the movie. I mean, the starting of the movie. So all our infrastructure systems, the traffic signals, the train, and the train accident happened in Orissa also. Now there are a lot of technological controls, and there was an investigation whether there was a, you know, some malicious act was there, but malicious act or human error in technology can impact lives now. It is not anymore money, it is not anymore systems, it is not anymore delays. It is going to, not going to, it has already started impacting lives. The medical equipment, medical systems, the infrastructure, critical infrastructure, even nuclear power plant, electrical system, everywhere. I mean, like 20-25 years when we were thinking about electrical system, we never thought it can be hacked because it was completely isolated environment. But now everything is connected. Every corner of the world, these are connected. The operations technology or SCADA systems, like which controls, all this critical infrastructure, or mechanical equipments like oil rig or nuclear plant, electrical plant, they're all can be hacked. They're all can be hacked if there is a persistence. Now, this leads to anything and everything in the future, in coming days, and every organization without a connectivity, I don't think there is any organization now. And without using technology, even now I can see even fish market in India using Google Pay and other kind of payment systems. So everyone is now connected. Everyone has a mobile phone. So the world is revolving around technology. And unfortunately, the whole technology itself, or the whole internet itself, is actually not created in with security in mind. So it was actually for the objective was to connect together initially, not secure from day one. So that just grown exponentially, and security become an additional component, which is why whatever investment organizations and countries are putting in security, but still security risks, security incidents are increasing because more and more people, more and more services, more and more bad guys also coming into internet. Now the fraudster, one day who were on the ground doing frauds on physical world, doing frauds, is the one now moved and created a fake email of Sunil. And those fraudsters, the criminals, their easy place is now on the cyber, because they won't be able to be identified easily like on the physical world. There he has to go and hide after doing a crime. Now here, there are so many different ways to do crimes without identification, without identity. I mean, if it is cross border, it's very difficult to catch any of these criminals. So the best way is to protect, to do that proper security implementation so that you can manage those cases. So from a career perspective, I always want to advise the community and my younger brothers and sisters don't look at what is the salary I'm going to get, what is the money I'm going to make, what is the car I can buy. And from my experience, those things comes as a after effect of when you do things with passion. Anything what we do, we have to be enjoying it, we have to believe, we have to make sure that this is what I want to do, even if it is not security. So when I started my career in Qatar, I was actually, it is in 95, 96 period. If people, the, yeah, elder people, or my same age groups will know that during those days, everyone wants to go to US, get a software development certification, some software, C++, C, Java, and that was very, very hot and well paid. Network system security and all the second or third grade career path for us. So I had a tendency, I had an options to take that as my field and go to US. So I assessed myself and I said, like, can you do that? Do you enjoy that? Or what do I enjoy? So I have actually found that I can do software development and I can, you know, survive to learn and all. But I felt like I'm not someone enjoyed, and that is not my cup of tea. But I enjoy networking and systems and all, although it doesn't pay that much, not so many opportunities during those days, not easy to go to US. Everyone was targeting US, that Y2K time. But then I took this as my field, and then I move with that. Although money wise, career wise, it was not the best at that point of time. But when I enjoy and I do, then I was able to create a field out of it, which become a cybersecurity field, and that really kind of helped me to grow in my career. And I enjoy it till now. When I'm talking about cybersecurity, I'm being passionate because I love this field. So now again, as we mentioned, cybersecurity field is extremely hot, even in US. The increase of digital economy and digital infrastructure and dependency on digital, technologies very high. And one of the study identify information security analyst, that is like a entry level or a junior or a kind of a 4 5 3 to 5 6 7 years experience, and that is a role. 31% increase in that role, I mean, interest and demand. And again, getting right resources even my challenge now. Now, the problem is, yes, there may be many people educated, many people may be in cyber security also, but someone who just wanted to take money, get salary, and just to do that job for the sake of it, they are there. But any organization, including me, looking for someone really passionate, someone really bring innovative idea, someone who is really creative and get things do handle in a way valuable for organizations. That is the challenge of getting that right skill set, right resources with, you know people. After finishing graduation, you search for job without developing skill set is actually our problem. Like for example, I am ready to take freshers, but not I may not have time to develop that skill set in all cases. But if someone is putting an effort and learning and developing the skill set, there are so much of opportunities online to learn, to train, to develop skill set, to test it, to hack. There are free hacking sites where you can hack. There's one area of security, but you can get trained in technologies, you can train in developing processes. There's so much of opportunities that then if you develop those skill set, then even if it is fresher and he can start working and he can deliver, there are many organizations who will be ready to hire them. So just having people only is not enough, but people with the right attitude and skill set is important. So again, from breaches, we had a great example of breach or incident with Sunil itself. But there are so many security breaches happening now. Even now, Microsoft is having a security incident recently. Now, many other organizations, hospitals, principals, security and technology vendors are getting breached. Hotels and other organizations, major organizations, data got breached. And as we see, countries are getting impacted with cyber attacks. The national critical infrastructure. Many incidents you may not be knowing what is the story behind an incident, because we just know the what we are hearing from the public domain. In many cases, it could be a cyber attack. So incidents, breaches, the complexity of breaches are extremely, increasing, and that really triggers. Now, originally, I mean, financial industry is someone who's regulated. They have regulators who are pushing, like in India, like the Reserve Bank of India here, Central Bank of UAE, and regulators push, and then banks and financial institutions are bit more advanced in security. But now every other organization, healthcare and retail, everyone hiring security heads, security resources, because everyone now facing, because one incident can completely kill the whole business. Many organizations got bankrupted or closed after a major cybersecurity incident. Cybersecurity damage, I mean, the amount that could be loss due to cyber attacks can be 10.5 trillion by 2025. And the spending on cybersecurity, some of the organizations spend huge amount for resources, for technology and security, you know, transformations and ongoing compliance and assurance of security controls. Now regulations are getting tightened. If you know, in India now, the data privacy law, privacy and security are related in some way, although there are some differences also. Basically, how to ensure the privacy through cybersecurity controls, because a cybersecurity breach can impact the organization by losing that personally identified. Privacy is for our personal information, personal data, a name, phone number, medical records, our date of birth, all of that information. Ensuring the protection of that is what the privacy laws or data protection laws talking. So it's the cyber security controls to protect that is important. So this is why actually the regulations for privacy in India, UAE, and every you know country now coming up is extremely important, because then security requirements are again increased. European GDPR is actually a very, very comprehensive and tight data protection or privacy regulation, which will fine 4% of the total revenue as a fine if there is any breach happen. Even Facebook and all, I think, had a fine because of some incidents. So the those regulations are increasing, means more and more importance, more and more requirement for privacy and data security and cyber security controls are going to increase. Because if there is an incident happen, there could be financial loss, reputational loss, there could be fines. As I mentioned, people's safety can be impacted and business loss. In the US, only 600,000 skilled resource shortage in 2022. Similarly, everywhere, to have that right skill. Now, you may ask, okay, now a lot of people doesn't have job, and still why there is a what I call contradicting statement that there is skill resource shortage also. As I mentioned, it is not only having a graduation, not having an engineering graduation, because engineering graduation will make our mindset ready to take up any challenges, and we need to take it as a base and develop additional skill set. It just build us as a person, as a professional, as an engineer who can learn, who can look at different places, different sources for skills, information, knowledge, compile it, collate it, and apply it. And that is why Indian engineers could be, performing much better in many places, because we are built to be handling complex issues and handling complex challenges, and we need to make sure that we use the skills we develop during our engineering to learn and improvise with additional skill set required for the market specialized areas. The attitude, the skill set, the passion, the competitiveness, all of these things combined will be required. Not this many engineers graduated, they don't have job, but there is a shortage of engineers with skill set. How to connect this? So, good skill set, good resources with the right skill set in cybersecurity and with the right attitude. I was actually in discussion with one resource in one of my company or non-company here. She was like just 1 year in her job, and she built skill set in some of the technical solutions, and she is already globally number one in that particular area. And I'm just so impressed with her that how quickly she was an intern in that organization for a few months, and then now she's actually training different teams on the technology. So that is the talent, that is a skill set you need, and that is the effort we need to put in to develop that skill set, that interest, that passion. you know that will make you a unique resource which organizations are looking for. Now, what are the different areas in cybersecurity? As I mentioned, we have engineering, technical area, we have auditing and compliance and process documentation, governance area, which is the strategy and policies and procedures, and which doesn't require a lot of technical expertise, but understanding the technical expertise also is important. And then security entry point could be security monitoring related job roles, where you know bit of hectic, but a good starting point for the SOC monitoring, security operation center monitoring kind of jobs. Penetration testing, vulnerability assessment domain is another area. So these are some of the areas where you can focus in security. As I mentioned, governance, risk, compliance are more process and governance and documentation, review, auditing, communication. But then there are application security, cloud security, where deep level technical coding experience. Software developers can be a good expert in application security and cloud security. Penetration testing, like ethical hacking, is another area. As I mentioned, passion, competitiveness, skill, continuous skill development. You need to, not only in cybersecurity, all the different areas around it also, we need to develop skill set and build networking. Social, not only social media, I mean, LinkedIn is a good professional networking domain, and even relationship building. There are many different ways you have a genuine relationship building opportunities, rather than going and search asking for a job to help someone a job suddenly, where you were connected for last many years and you did not interact with him, and just when you want a job only go and ask, is not the best way. You need to have a genuine relationship with different professional and personal community, and also get trained as much as training possible, and get it certified genuine, because there are a lot of fake and fraud certification options which I'm getting every day in LinkedIn to free, pay them and you don't have to do the exam. So there are many fake fraudsters who are doing this, but genuine certification will be validated when you are working, when you're interacting. And extracurricular, when you're, if you're students, I would recommend to be involved in those social networking, communication, building, like, all of that will help us in building us as a professional, as a person. Those leadership capability building, the communication, and sharing and caring. I mean, we should not look for help and information and support from others only. We need to give back to the community, we need to give back to the colleagues and the society, because then only, when we need something, someone will have a feeling to help us. So we need to make sure that social community interest also when we are working on our career and personal goals. Some of the titles or roles in cybersecurity: the Chief Information Security Officer, which I was in the bank and previously in other organization, that is like heading the end-to-end information security, and it requires a lot of experience in terms of technology, process, and people. And CSO is again similar kind of a role, which is including a bit more physical security or other security, non-technology security also. Engineers are like engineers who do configuration, implementation. Architects are someone who design and architecting, security solutions and tools. Analysts are like, they are probably the entry roles, or who are actually having that analytical skills to assess, analyze incidents, responses, and other activities. Penetration testing is, as you may be knowing, trying to break in and finding gaps in security, sorry, in systems and technology and services, which is very, very common, and mostly many people think that that is only security, but that is one part of security only. It could be someone who is very interested, passionate about that. They can build a huge or an excellent career in that, but they really need to enjoy. And some of these development or software developers can be, as I mentioned, good penetration testers. So now, as I mentioned, what exactly happens in cybersecurity in a company? There will be like if as a CISO, we build strategy, we build policy, we will build procedures, and standard operating procedures, guidelines, security awareness program we develop. We execute that security awareness program across the organization. We interact with different departments to generate or convey security messages to them to make sure their processes are tightened. Because in a bank, if you just example, I'm just giving an example, bank, if the account opening process is not secure, whatever technology we have, and if that account opening process itself is not secure, then there is a problem. So embedding security into business process is important. Data, which data is important for us? Is it customer data, credit card information, or publicly available data? Don't spend time and effort on which is already publicly available, but you have sensitive information. How to identify that? That is data classification. Access is who has access to what, who should be having access. When someone come in, when somebody leave, the access should be removed. All of that comes under GRC. Technology, again, the solution designing, architecture, implementing solutions, managing the solution, configuring. Monitoring is like, monitor if there is any attack happening, internal, external, somebody is doing some fraudulent activity, somebody is making some mistake, and then that can impact the organization. So that is like monitoring. And deep level investigation, threat intelligence, forensic testing, that is actually security testing. Auditing is auditing, I mean assessing to make sure that like financial auditing, it's security auditing to make sure that is there everything is getting done properly. Project management, security projects will be there, how to make sure the security projects are executed timely and effectively. So some of the personality traits which I mentioned already earlier, we need to be making sure we as a person, as a professional, build this as part of, irrespective it's cybersecurity or not. Some of these are very, very common, but we have to make sure in cybersecurity professional ethics, integrity, because we may have access to sensitive issues, sensitive information, sensitive activities, and we need to be able to judge, analyze, identify where is the issue, where is the hack, where is the incident, what is happening. We may need to look into the details. We need to be persist, because sometimes attackers will be continuously try different methods to attack us, but then we need to be having the persistence to make sure we continuously defending the organization. Communication, obviously, adaptability, because sometimes we need to change the way we are doing things. Ethical hacking mindset, no need for everyone to be ethical hackers, but we need to compose and handle issues. Problem solving, obviously, if there is an attack, there is a breach, there is an incident, how do you make sure you manage? You cannot be panic. Risk assessment mindset. Risk, we need to understand what is riskier, what control is required, which one is riskier, because you cannot, because there is cyber attacks, because of there is security incidents, you cannot close internet and then go and so most secure system is something which is locked and which is disconnected from everywhere, put it in a box and put it in the sea or ocean, then that is the most secure. But then that is not what we want. We want to leverage the technology, leverage AI, leverage everything, and at the same time we need to balance that capability with the risk. So we need to find how and what is acceptable from an organization or from individual perspective. So we have to have that risk assessment, risk management mindset, extremely important for that. So as I mentioned, the successful career depends upon many things: understanding, building skill set, knowledge acquisition, and building that passion, learning and training and certification, and also mention networking, engaging discussions, sharing your thoughts, discussing your thoughts, bringing your thoughts out in the public or in the social media or in the network, in your network, to make sure that you have an interest and you have certain different perspective to communicate to the industry. So that actually ends my session. As I mentioned, cyber security is a field which is going to be growing from strength to strength, just because there is no way for the world to go out of technology, services, and information. Any new technology comes, anything change after 10 years. Now AI is there, after 10 years it may be something else. There will be a dependency on technology, information, services, systems, all of this, and the requirement to secure it. Now what I learned maybe 10 years back is not enough to secure AI based chat gpt related risk. I need to improvise, I need to learn those new things and to find how to secure it. So we have to always kept, it's my people were asking me like, Ilyas, when are you going to stop your certification and training? So the whole career was learning and getting certification, because certification will enforce the learning, and it just makes sure that you learn and stamped it in your mind when you do a certification seriously. So that is why I always opt for certification, although a lot of people has difference of opinion in the certification part. And the namesake certification, the fraud certification, the fake certification, it's a different story. But for me, it is actually learning things structured way and enforce it in my mind, which I can apply when a problem comes, with many other knowledge skills which I have it in my back of my mind. I process it together to apply and solve some issue. So for that, I like to have that training and certification. So the requirement to have people with those different skill set to secure something is always going to be there. Now, as I mentioned, it doesn't require only technical. There are areas of privacy, business information security, security awareness, security GRC domain, security data classification, access related. There are different ways, and even security sales. Say selling, I mean, security without understanding a lot of deep level technology, but understanding the top part is a field where you can find jobs. Somebody who is really interested, who really good in relationship context networking, with those genuine approach and with some technical understanding, they can be a good salesman. So there are a lot of things in security. So but at the end, now the as I mentioned, the world now, just to conclude, uh, just to align, connect with Sunil's issue with the email. I didn't know that before, Sunil. I think I saw it Facebook. I did not notice that it's an email. I thought it's a Facebook profile, a fake profile. Now in the future, AI could be used to create attack targeted emails, and all what happened to Sunil can be generated automatically within seconds for millions of users with AI, by analyzing the data available on the internet. Now it will, the system, the AI engine might have, I don't know it is applied in Sunil's case, but in future it can analyze you from the web, what you do, where you live, what are your interests, when is your marriage, who is your spouse, who is your children, who is your boss, who is your staff, and create customized email targeted to you, which you will click. Now in this case it just asks for money only, but if you just imagine those guy, Sunil's friend who got have a link, and they click the link for confirming their attendance, and then it install a virus on their machine, which can completely record their activity, their video, what they're speaking, and send to the hacker. So that could happen, and that is easy, easy for a hacker. It is very very easy. So now with AI, that could happen. Now that is why we need more and more professional more and more skilled, more and more people who thinks in cybersecurity field, which is why this is an amazing field with a lot of opportunity for those who are passionate. That's it from my side. Thank you so much for listening. I'm sorry I took a bit of time. My apology.
Thank you, Illyas. Thank you very much for that wonderful session. It's really, I'm sure the audience benefited a lot from that, not only on cybersecurity, not only on the field, not only the career prospectus on the cybersecurity field, but also how one can increase the job opportunity, job prospectus through continuous learning. What are soft skills one can improvise on to ensure the job prospectus, career advancement. So we are so blessed to have you here, Illyas, today evening. Now the floor is open for question and answers. We are seeing few hands raised already. Joshi is here first. Let's listen to Raman Joshi for his comments, his questions or clarifications, or please, the floor is yours.
താങ്ക് യു ഡി കെ. ഡി കെ എന്ന് വിളിച്ചാണ് ഞാൻ ക്ഷീണിച്ചു പോയത്. പിന്നെ എനിക്ക് എലിയാസിനെ പറ്റി ഒന്ന് രണ്ട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ പറയാനുണ്ട്, സൈബർ സെക്യൂരിറ്റിനെ പറ്റി ഒന്ന് രണ്ട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ പറയാനുണ്ട്. ഐ വോണ്ട് ടേക്ക് മോർ ദാൻ 1 minute. ആൻഡ് ഐ ഓൾസോ ഞാൻ മലയാളത്തിൽ സംസാരിക്കാൻ ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടുന്നു. അപ്പം ഞാൻ താമസിക്കുന്നതും ജോലി ചെയ്യുന്നതും ലണ്ടനിലാണ്. കഴിഞ്ഞ 27 വർഷമായി. കണ്ണൂർ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജിലെ ഫസ്റ്റ് ബാച്ച് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഭയങ്കര പ്രിവിലേജോടുകൂടി പറയുന്ന ഒരാളാണ്. ഞാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞ 5 വർഷമായിട്ടാണ് സൈബർ സെക്യൂരിറ്റിയിൽ വന്നത്. സൈബർ സെക്യൂരിറ്റി സ്പെഷ്യലിസ്റ്റ് ആയിട്ടാണ് ജോയിൻ ചെയ്തത്. 30 വർഷത്തോളം IT എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ഉണ്ട്. അതിനുശേഷം ഇപ്പോഴാണ് ഒരു ടെക്നിക്കൽ ലീഡറൊക്കെ ആയിട്ട് കുറച്ചും കൂടെ ഒരു ഡെവലപ്മെൻ്റ് ഒക്കെ വന്നത് IT സൈബർ സെക്യൂരിറ്റിയിൽ. പിന്നെ എൻ്റെ പാഷൻ സൈബർ സെക്യൂരിറ്റി അല്ല, ആർട്ടിഫിഷ്യൽ ഇൻ്റലിജൻസ് ഫോർ സൈബർ സെക്യൂരിറ്റി ആണ് എൻ്റെ പാഷൻ. അപ്പോൾ അതിൽ എനിക്ക് ഭാഗ്യം കിട്ടി ഒരു യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി ഓഫ് ഓക്സ്ഫോർഡിൽ നിന്നൊരു ഷോർട്ട് ടേം കോഴ്സ് ചെയ്യാൻ. കണ്ണൂർ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജിലൊക്കെ പഠിക്കുമ്പോൾ അതിനെപ്പറ്റി ഒന്നും ആലോചിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല. ഇപ്പോൾ ഇലിയാസ് പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ എൻ്റെ ഒരു അക്കാദമിക് സ്കില്ലൊക്കെ നോക്കിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഞാൻ എവിടെയൊന്ന് DKക്കും പിന്നെ നമ്മുടെ സിയാക്കിലുള്ള ഷാജി എംസ്കറിയൊക്കെ നന്നായിട്ട് അറിയാം. പക്ഷെ ഞാൻ അതിനിടയിൽ ഇലിയാസിനെ പരിചയപ്പെട്ടു 2-3 വർഷം മുമ്പേ. ഇലിയാസ് ഖത്തറിലെത്തിയ കഥകളും എറ്റിസലാത്തിൽ ദുബായിലെത്തിയതും അതിനുശേഷം എന്താ പറയുക ഈ അബുദാബി ബാങ്കിലെത്തിയതും അവിടെ സീസോ ആയതും എല്ലാം ഞാൻ ഇലിയാസിനോട് 2-3 പ്രാവശ്യം സംസാരിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട് പേഴ്സണലി. ആ ഒരു പേഴ്സണാലിറ്റി, ആ നോളേജ്, ആ ആറ്റിറ്റ്യൂഡ് ടുവേർഡ്സ് സൈബർ സെക്യൂരിറ്റി, അതിലാണ് ഞാൻ എന്നെ ഒരു ഗുരുവിനെ കാണുന്നത്. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഇലിയാസ് എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്ന കണ്ണൂർ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജിലെ ഒരു എന്താ പറയുക ഒരു 1 in a million ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റിയാണ്. അപ്പം ഇലിയാസ് അത് ഷെയർ ചെയ്യുന്നത് വളരെയധികം എന്താ പറയുക താല്പര്യത്തോടുകൂടി കേട്ടിരിക്കാറുണ്ട്. താല്പര്യത്തോടു കൂടി അങ്ങനെയുള്ള അവസരങ്ങൾ ഞാൻ മിസ് ചെയ്യാറുമില്ല. അപ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് ഓഫർ ചെയ്യാനുള്ള സംഗതി എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഞാൻ സൈബർ സെക്യൂരിറ്റിയിൽ എത്തിയപ്പോഴും വലിയ വ്യത്യാസങ്ങളുണ്ടായി. IT ഫീൽഡിൽ 30 വർഷത്തോളം ഞാൻ ജോലി ചെയ്തു. അതിനുശേഷമാണ് സൈബർ സെക്യൂരിറ്റിയിൽ ഒരു ചാൻസ് കിട്ടിയത്. UK സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം വളരെയധികം ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റീസ് ഇൻ ടേംസ് ഓഫ് കരിയർ ഗ്രോത്ത് ഞാൻ പറയുകയാണ്. UK വളരെയധികം ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റീസ് ഉണ്ട്. കണ്ണൂർ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജിൽ നിന്ന് എനിക്ക് UK എത്താമെങ്കിൽ കണ്ണൂർ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജിൽ ഇതുവരെ പഠിച്ച എല്ലാവർക്കും UK എത്താൻ പറ്റും. ഇപ്പം എനിക്ക് ബാക്കിയുള്ള US യൂറോപ്പോ ബാക്കിയുള്ളത് അറിയില്ല. ഞാൻ മിഡിൽ ഈസ്റ്റിലെത്തിയിരുന്നു. മിഡിൽ ഈസ്റ്റ് ഒരു പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോം പോലെ യൂസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് ഞാൻ UK എത്തിയത്. അപ്പം അതുപോലെ എത്താൻ വേണ്ടത് ലേശം പ്രിപ്പറേഷനാണ്. സോ ലൈഫ് ഈസ് ലിറ്റിൽ ബിറ്റ് ബെറ്റർ ദാൻ മിഡിൽ ഈസ്റ്റ് എന്നാണ് ഞാൻ പറയുക. ഡെഫിനറ്റ്ലി ലിറ്റിൽ ബിറ്റ് ബെറ്റർ ദാൻ, മച്ച് ബെറ്റർ ദാൻ ഇന്ത്യ. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ ആർക്കെങ്കിലും താല്പര്യമുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഐ എം ജസ്റ്റ് ഓഫറിങ്. അങ്ങനെ അതിന് പ്രോപ്പർ പ്രിപ്പറേഷനും പ്ലാനിങ്ങും വേണം. അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ വളരെ ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടാണ്. ഇപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ ഒരു കോഴ്സ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ 6 മാസത്തെ വിസ കിട്ടും. 6 മാസത്തിനുള്ളിൽ ജോലി കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചാൽ മതി. അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ഗവൺമെൻറ്റിൻ്റെ കുറേ അധികം ഫെസിലിറ്റീസ് നമ്മുടെ ഇന്ത്യൻസിനുണ്ട്. അതൊക്കെ യൂട്ടിലൈസ് ചെയ്യാനും അതിന് താല്പര്യം, നമ്മൾക്കോ നമ്മുടെ മക്കൾക്കോ അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ റിലേറ്റീവ്സിനോ ഒക്കെ അതിന് താല്പര്യമുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഐ ആം ഓഫ് ഓഫറിങ് എ ഹാൻഡ്, അതിനെപ്പറ്റിയുള്ള ഒരു പ്രോപ്പർ അഡ്വൈസ് തരാൻ എനിക്ക് താല്പര്യമുണ്ട്. അതെനിക്ക് എൻ്റെ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിയിലേക്ക് തിരിച്ചു കൊടുക്കുന്നതിന് അതിനെനിക്ക് വളരെയധികം സന്തോഷമുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പോൾ സുനിൽ ഡിക്കയോ ഷാജിൻ സ്കറിയയോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എലിയാസോ, ഇപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ നമ്മുടെ കോളേജിൽ തന്നെ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് നടത്തുന്ന ഷക്കീർ ഉണ്ട്, ഖലീൽ റഹ്മാൻ എൻ്റെ ക്ലാസ്മേറ്റ് ആയിരുന്നു, അതിലൊരു പാർട്ടിസിപ്പൻ്റ് ആണ്, അവൻ ഒരു ജോലി ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരാളാണ്. അപ്പം ഖലീലിൻ്റെ ഒക്കെ അവരുടെ ഒരു വാട്സപ്പ് ഗ്രൂപ്പ് ഉണ്ട്, അതിൽ ഞാനും കോൺട്രിബ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യാറുണ്ട്. സൈബർ സെക്യൂരിറ്റിനെ പറ്റി അവർ സെമിനാർ നടത്താൻ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നുണ്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. അപ്പോൾ അതിലൊക്കെ പാർട്ടിസിപ്പേറ്റ് ചെയ്യോ അതുവഴിയോ, അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഡി കെക്ക് എൻ്റെ ഗ്രൂപ്പ് അറിയാം, ഞങ്ങളുടെ കോളേജിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഗ്രൂപ്പിലൊക്കെ ഞാനും ഡി കെ ഒക്കെ മെമ്പറാണ്, അതുവഴിയോ കോണ്ടാക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ ആർക്കും, അത് നിങ്ങളുടെ മക്കളായാലും നിങ്ങളുടെ ഫ്രണ്ട്സ് ആയാലും GCEK സ്റ്റുഡൻ്റ് ആയാലും, ഐ ആം റിയലി ഹാപ്പി ടു ഹെൽപ്പ്. അത് എൻ്റെ ഒരു പ്രിവിലേജ് ആയി കാണും. കണ്ണൂർ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജിൽ പഠിച്ചതുകൊണ്ട് അതിനെനിക്ക് പ്രത്യേക താല്പര്യമുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ വൺസ് അഗെയിൻ താങ്ക് യു DK, ആൻഡ് താങ്ക് യു വെരി വെരി മച്ച് ഫോർ ഇലിയാസ് ഫോർ എ വണ്ടർഫുൾ പ്രസൻറ്റേഷൻ.
താങ്ക് യു ജോഷി. ഇൻഫാക്ട് നമ്മുടെ അലൂമിയുടെ സ്ട്രെങ്ത്, നമ്മുടെ കോളേജിന്റെ സ്ട്രെങ്ത്, ഈ ഗ്രൂപ്പിന്റെ സ്ട്രെങ്ത് തന്നെ ഇതാണ്. ജോഷിയെ പോലെയും പിന്നെ ഇലിയാസിനെ പോലെയും നമ്മുടെ ഒരുപാട് പ്രഗത്ഭര് ഇവിടെയുണ്ട്. ഒരുപാട് നോളജ്, എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് അവർക്ക് ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാനുണ്ട്. ഇതൊക്കെ ഇത്രയും റിച്ച് എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ്, just imagine ഒരു 5,000 into years of experience. If you accumulate that all, this can do wonders. It can change the life of our youngsters, those who are graduating from the college. So see, we have wide range of audience here. On one side we have the students who just got graduated. On the other side we have parents whose kids have just graduated from the university. So in this spectrum നമുക്ക് ഒരുപാട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ കോൺട്രിബ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. ലൈക്ക് വിനീത ഇപ്പോൾ ചാറ്റിൽ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ചെറിയ റൂറൽ ഏരിയാസിലൊക്കെ ഇപ്പോഴും എൽഡർലി പീപ്പിൾ ദേ ആർ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ ഇല്ലിറ്ററേറ്റ് ആണ്. അവർക്കൊന്നും ഓൺലൈൻ ഫ്രോഡ് ഒന്നും അവർ എക്സ്പോസ്ഡ് അല്ല. പക്ഷേ ടുഡേസ് ലൈഫ് റിക്വയർ ഇറ്റ്സ് എ മസ്റ്റ് ബീയിങ് ഓൺലൈൻ. പാർട്ട് ഓഫ് the online trading, online business is part of our life, even in rural areas nowadays. So അത്രയും ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആണ്. സോ കരിയർ ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റീസ് അത്രയും ഉണ്ട്. സോ ഇവരുടെയൊക്കെ എക്സ്പേർട്സ്, നമ്മുടെ എക്സ്പേർട്സ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള നമ്മുടെ അലൂമിനി മെമ്പേഴ്സിൻ്റെ ഒക്കെ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ്, let us use them, let us share them, let us make use of that for the benefit of our members. Now let me invite, I can see the hand raised by Jay Ganesh. Can you unmute it?
Hi, sir. Hi, sir. This is Mrs. Jay Ganesh, actually. Okay.
Go ahead.
It was a wonderful session. Actually, I have 4 years of experience in IT field, and after marriage, I moved to Saudi Arabia. Now, again, I wanted to start my career in cybersecurity field, which I was very much interested in. So I have done a number of certifications like ethical hacking, CEAAK, and then cybersecurity CC. Then I completed my CASSP training program, and now I am looking forward to do ISO 27001. My question is it possible to get the remote opportunities for an entry level job? Because they will consider me as an entry level, since I don't have experience in cybersecurity. Even though I have done a number of certifications, they will not consider me as an experienced one in cybersecurity field. Is it possible to get a remote opportunity for an entry in cybersecurity in this particular case, sir?
Yeah, actually, thank you so much for asking. So there are, you're in Saudi, you mentioned, isn't it?
Yeah, I am in Saudi.
Saudi is actually one of the hottest market even we are planning to enter, because the requirement for in Saudi for cybersecurity is huge. It's a huge, big country. So you may find opportunity there, but otherwise remotely also there are many kind of potential. So I think my contact number is here. You could ping me later. And
Okay.
we have I manage a career group. Even Joshi is actually member of that group.
Sorry, sir, I could not hear your voice.
We can add you, and can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. So what I was saying is I will just share my number. Sunil, Is there a way? I don't know. Maybe I have put my number.
Yeah, I think in the chat you can just share the
Yeah, I'll just
contact
put in
details.
my
Yeah.
number in the chat. So you can
Okay,
just
sir.
ping me. I
Okay,
will
sir.
I will add you in a career group which I'm managing, a WhatsApp group where
Okay, sir.
we share all the opportunities and career guidance, information exchange. What a bit more detailed of what we discuss will be there. So whoever interested, I can add them there.
Okay, sir.
So remote opportunities are there, but opportunities are always, sometimes you need little bit of because you may have that skill set, which probably not easy to convey to the employer. So
Okay.
someone who are actually open, and there are internship opportunities.
Okay.
Even we have given we have some interns now in our
Okay.
entry level persons. So we'll see if I even have some opportunities, I will share with you, or in
Okay.
the group also we will have a lot of discussion happening.
Okay, sir. Is this your WhatsApp number or it is
Yeah,
your?
yeah. This is my all number, everything,
Okay,
WhatsApp
sir.
and call, everything in this number.
Okay, sir. I'm
My
more
email.
interested. I'm not interested in coding part and all. So I'm more interested. And in that case, what kind of roles I can choose?
So I think you did the right thing. You have now doing the ISO 27001, and
Yeah.
you did the. I think you are better fit into GRC. I think you might have seen in my session the GRC domain, which is
Yeah.
including gap assessment, risk assessment,
Okay.
regulatory compliance related assessments, auditing. Those kind of tasks you can do remotely also.
Okay.
Now, even in my case, some of my resource working remotely, like even policy development, like any organization required, like ISO. If you are doing ISO, you will understand that needs security
Okay.
needs a lot of policies, which will be
Okay.
kind of the basic foundation of any organizational security program. So those things you can
Okay.
do remotely also. So if you're
Okay.
not very much interested in deep level technical, I think you should be thinking about that governance, risk, and compliance domain.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah, just ping me
Thank you,
and
sir.
I will connect you in the group, and then you can get more information.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Ilyas. And Jaganesh, it's our privilege to help people like like you in our alumni group. And if this can be
Thank
a
you, sir.
cause for
Thanks a lot.
that, really, we will be blessed. We will be really privileged if this small session can open a new door for you. That's wonderful. Now, let's hear from Sudhir.
Hey, thank you, DK. Maybe I'll turn on my video. I'm not sure whether you can see me.
Yeah, we can hear. We can see you.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, Illyas, for
Yeah.
a very inspiring session. It's great to see after a long time and providing this overview to the our alumni and also the present batch of GCEKs. So my request is actually, I have one request, Illyas, if you can share some of the, because when we try to do capability development in this particular area, there are a lot of materials in the internet, which is it's a clutter of information, right? And as a practitioner, sometimes people will find it very difficult where to start. And that actually, people are wasting a lot of time in pursuing those kind of not meaningful things sometimes. So it would be great actually from your great experience if you can share a kind of for a analyst side actually what are the courses or what are the online courses that people should take up. Then that would be great, Illyas. That will be a great starting point for people who are aspiring to pursue the career in the cybersecurity area. Thank you.
So there, first of all, thank you so much. A long time and nice to see you. So there I think നിങ്ങൾ പറഞ്ഞ കാര്യം ഒരു വലിയ ഫാക്ട് ആണ്. It is a because it's an information overflow and
Yes.
very diversified information. So everyone confused where to start and how to get that break, which one to study. So I get a lot of requests and where to study. Now I think I saw some question about which certification, which training institute, and I could not find, to be frank, a real good training institute and a good certificate which is kind of a how to start, so this is
Uh-huh.
something which is in my mind, in the sense there are many, but some are very costly. For example, there is a course from Harvard, online course, like an 8 weeks course. It's called Managing Risk in the Information Age. But the course is a bit expensive. Now if you're looking from India, I think it costs like more than 1 lakh plus. If it is from UAE, it is I think almost like 10,000 dirhams or something. It's like 8 weeks online course. It gives a full security overall picture, end to end.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Of course, and Harvard name is there, but I felt it is too costly for not everyone can afford
Yes.
that. So,
Yes.
but there are many other smaller courses. But the problem is those institutes and the courses and the teachers are like without practical experience. They are like they're just trainers. So, but I will try to. I think it's a good question, to be frank, and it was in my mind also to make something which is easy for everyone. So what I will do is I will try to make a bit more structured. What is that flow, or what is that path someone can take, and I can share, because I don't want to just tell now on the fly. Probably
Sure.
I can share with Sunil and you, and then you can share with this group by email, but let me do it properly.
Sure. Thank you, Illyas. Once again, it's a great session, a
Thank you.
very inspiring one. Because the story that you are pursuing, your growth story itself is actually so inspiring for many of us, and it's a proud thing for us, Illyas. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jishnu. Thank you.
Thank you, Sudhir. Thank you, Yes. Now, Jishnu, you are raising your hand. Let's hear from Jishnu.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So I've been working in the IT field for 2 years now. Like currently, I'm in an application support operation. So like I wanted to switch to cybersecurity, but I don't know like from where to start. Like there are many websites like Coursera, Udemy. There are many courses. Always try to do those, but like in the middle, like in the beginning, it's all good, but like as it goes to a level higher, it gets difficult, and I'm not able to finish it. So I don't know like where to start, and always like lose motivation and not that comfortable with coding. So do I have any chance, or what is the path that I should follow to switch to cybersecurity?
So Jishnu, thank you so much for asking that question. So you said you're doing application support, but not
Right.
application development. You're
No,
not
support.
going in the code level.
No.
So
Previously,
then,
I was in cloud migration. It in my company for 9 months. Then after that project got over, they moved me to, maybe because of my lack of skills or experience, they moved me to application support. Yeah, currently I'm in application support.
Okay. So see, now the area you could focus is probably, since you're not interested in application and application security, and probably you may not be interested in penetration testing also, is on the what do you call, security administration, kind of the technology roles, where you probably need that technology. You are already doing that application support and all, so you can do this installation and configuration of security tools and solutions. So you may focus on certain tools um, when you get into a kind of the right job. So if possible, internally itself, you need to develop the skill set, and you may need to get certified in some of this technology security solutions or security area. And then internally, if you can shift to a security administrative role, there are different, I don't know how big is your company, or where is it, but there may be security related solutions which require somebody to maintain, administer and all. That could be your entry, and then you need to gradually grow in that. So I for example, when I started my career, I was in the IT. I was doing PC installation. I was doing server installation, application supporting and all. And then I kind of slowly got into that security solutions, and then started managing those security solutions like firewall administration and other security tools and all, data leakage prevention solution. So that is an area where you don't need to be having a development experience, but you need to have still analytical skill and what do you call troubleshooting skills, all those things required. But I think this is a field you should be focusing on. So maybe one certification which is related to that is CompTIA Security Plus. I don't know whether you explored that, or I don't know which other training you try to attend. CompTIA you can do self also. I mean, there are materials you can buy or you can available also. Or you could find from some of your friends. And again, in your case also, Jishnu, you ping me. I will get you added to the group, which is actually, you can ask some of these questions also, and the members can guide, or even I can try to guide you further, continuous basis.
Sure, definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jess. Now, we may have under 10 more minutes. Let us listen to Said, who was raising his hand. Said, Jessel? Yeah.
Hi all. The same question as Jishnu, but another question: how will you get a remote intern in cybersecurity field? I am also working in one company.
Said, കേട്ടിട്ടില്ല ട്ടോ, ഒന്നും കൂടി പറയോ?
Remote internship അങ്ങനെയാണ്.
See, അങ്ങനെ ഒരു പെർട്ടിക്കുലർ ഒരു റിമോട്ട് ഇന്റേൺഷിപ്പ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ഓപ്ഷൻ ഇല്ല. So it's a matter of getting that opportunity, trying different contacts, talking, and when the right kind of opportunity comes, but then the main thing, as I mentioned earlier, is, see, I will tell you my experience. So ഞാൻ എത്തിസലാത്തിൽ ഇനീഷ്യൽ ജോയിൻ ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ ഒരു ഇന്റർനെറ്റ് സപ്പോർട്ട് ഒരു ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിലായിരുന്നു. അപ്പം so I wanted to move from there. I want to get something better. I want to do something. I thought I can do better. I contacted someone, kind of a top management guy, and I said, like, please help me to get move to another department. So he told me, Illyas, first you have to help yourself, and then others will help you. So the key message what I got, that those messages are actually very important in our professional and personal life, is that message is, okay, so what did I do to move to a better job? Did I do proper training? So you have to be prepared for your next job. That is another advice I got. Like, if your next job is a manager who has to wear a suit, you have to start wearing suit now. Then you will get into that job. So you have to behave, you have to work, you have to show your leadership capability to grow into a leadership role. You cannot say, give me that leadership role, I will show my leadership capability. You show that leadership capability first. Similarly, what you have to do is that you find ways to because there are, like, for example, if somebody is interested in penetration testing or application security, finding gaps, there are bug bounty, so many people doing bug bounties. And there are companies like, we work with a company called CEAAK. They have a platform where someone who are actually good in penetration testing can join in that platform, and if they find any vulnerability, they will pay them with a kind of bonus. So there are so many similar opportunities available online, where you need to build your skill set by the time. Now even for internship, now if you go to get an internship where they need to invest time and training and everything, many people will take time, because they may have many other things. But now you tell that I know these tools. Now I think Mrs. J Ganesh was telling she's already learning ISO certification, ISO 27001 implementation. Now if there is an opportunity, for example, if I get an opportunity, I have a role or a project I get for ISO 27001 and I need additional resource, maybe I will be able to contact her to be adding to the resource as an intern or as an entry. So similarly, you bring that, you develop that capability and skills, and then you approach people and you tell that I have those, and you make a proper link. LinkedIn is extremely important social media platform. It is not Facebook or Instagram, but it is LinkedIn will help you to make a lot of inroads. And it is from my experience, and LinkedIn helped me to grow as a professional last many years. And I was able to communicate my thought process, I was able to make networking, I was able to get contacts and get opportunities. And even my last job in the bank, I got through LinkedIn, because someone found my profile and all, and then they are headhunted. So a good profile, a good CV, a good skill set you develop, and there is no excuse. Me and Sunil and Sudhir and all can give excuse that when we came out from college, we did not have internet to learn and interact. Now the world is, you have so many opportunities. So what I would advise, do that skill set development, and then make sure you have a strong LinkedIn profile and get in touch with different people. And then you may and I think sometimes there is a luck part also. And if you can demonstrate that passion and demonstrate the skill set, there are opportunities. But I cannot tell where, unless other than there are freelance Fiverr and all these places where you know uh, there are freelancing kind of works, people can do. But otherwise, not many organization will be spending time on internship unless they have a very structured program, or there are certain skill set we possess. So the best ways, as I mentioned, develop the skill set and then demonstrate that skill set in wherever platform you're getting, then there are always chances.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Illyas. Having വേറെ ആരും ഇല്ലാത്തതുകൊണ്ട് നമുക്ക് തൽക്കാലം നല്ല വൈൻഡപ്പ് ചെയ്യാൻ നോക്കാം.
DK.
Hi, Rajesh.
Officially.
Sorry.
Yes, there is no more talking needed. As we know, there is no life without online activities these days, and cybersecurity is no longer a technical jargon, and it is a common word. But we are extremely happy and proud to have one of the renowned experts in this field talking to us this evening, guiding our youngsters, young alumni members, and also our students. We have very eminent people coming in the Alumni Talk series, talking about career opportunities and other things in various fields. We do have an expert in every whatever field we can think of. Just the previous week only, we had the Chandrayaan being launched, and we have around 20 people of our alumni members involved in the Chandrayaan and other ISRO projects. GCEK alumni members, there were around 20 people. And in the literary field, we had our Sheila Tommy talking to us. She came to the campus and she inaugurated the Alumni magazine. And in the civil service field, there are many renowned people. There are IIT professors, and there are many, many, many more who have excelled in their own fields after studying in GCEK. And regarding today's program, we had around 75 to 80 participants in the initial core hours, in the core time duration. And that is the best so far in the alumni series. And we also have an increasing popularity of alumni talks, especially this particular talk will definitely help us, spread the word around the effectiveness of the very, very interesting and motivating talks that are delivered by our own alumni members. Every second Saturday, we have alumni talks, and we request on behalf of CEAAK, we request everybody to attend and spread the word regarding how useful the sessions are. And we also request everybody who have participated in today's function, today's event, to cooperate and participate in all CEAAK activities in future also. So thank you very much, Illyas. Thank you, DK, the coordinator of Alumni Talks. Thank you, Jitin, Secretary CEAAK. And officially thank all CEAAK Executive members and batch coordinators and chapter coordinators. And above all, we thank, on behalf of CEAAK, officially we thank all the participants who have joined this evening's very interesting talk by Illyas on cybersecurity. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you very much, Rajesh, Sunil.
Thank you all.
Good night.
And please feel free to reach out to Illyas. He has shared his number, contact details there in the chat. So anytime. This is one of the blessing we have. Experts like Illyas in their own field. They are here to help us to spread the helping hand, extend this helping hand to all the alumni members. Let us utilize that. Let us change the lives of our members. Don't think that there is no future or career. If good opportunities, good job opportunities, everything can be provided with this support of this alumni group. Utilize that. So join us every Saturday, every month, second Saturday for alumni talks. We'll be bringing more and more alumni members for the benefit of our alumni group. Thank you. Good night all. See you for the next session.